Homeless shelters are bracing for an influx of new tenants into their facilities. It's being reported out of Washington state that 25% of all renters feel like they're going to get evicted in the next few months. Hey, everybody, it's Friday, September 10th, 2021. We are about ready to see the consequences of the end of the eviction moratorium. Now, there's good and bad in everything with every situation. Of course, the landlords, they're jumping for joy right now because they can now get these tenants out of their homes in some areas, not all areas. But in other cases, you're going to see a lot of sad stories and a lot of sad situations come out of this. Imagine living in a shelter like this that you're looking at right here on the screen. Just by yourself is bad enough, but imagine having a family, having kids, and sometimes in some cases they need diapers and formulas and all those things that go along with that. So this is going to be a very difficult thing for a lot of people. But let's go to this article first here. 1/4 of Washington renters expects to be evicted. And it's expected that they'll be evicted in the next 2 months unless some other rescue program comes through for the state of Washington. And we're going to look at a chart right here. Now, this chart also includes foreclosure data. And this is, again, out of the state of Washington. And it's estimated that the number of homeowners that expect to get foreclosed is about 6%. My question is, with home prices going up like they've been going up, a lot of these people, they should be able to sell their home and still get a profit unless you're one of the homeowners that borrowed against your home. And then in many cases, you're going to see your debt load exceed what even your home equity and what your home is worth. And actually the 6% number, that is nationwide. In Washington, they're actually higher than the average for the nation. It's about 9% in Washington that could see their homes get foreclosed. Again, anything could happen. They could change the law. They can implement a new moratorium. But there's a lot of reports out here. Here's another one out of WKBW out of Buffalo, New York. Homeless shelters brace for influx after the moratorium has ended. Here's another article out of 5cleveland.com, News 5 Cleveland. Homeless shelters in Cleveland scramble to find space for renters facing eviction. An estimated 3,000 tenants could soon be evicted. So this is happening now in many areas. Another report here out of Florida, clickorlando.com. More than 6,000 Central Florida families face possible eviction. So if you think the homelessness that you've been seeing in your city has gotten worse over the past couple years, sadly, you probably haven't seen anything yet. Things are going to get a lot worse. All right, so the people out there saying that things are getting better, that there's a recovery, it is a recovery for some people, but you're going to see a bigger and bigger divide between the poor, the middle class, and the upper ultra wealthy people. BizNow.com is reporting a lot of people on the streets. The eviction crisis has begun. So prepare for more crime, more trash laying everywhere in your city. We're already seeing a lot of things happening here in different parts of my city here in San Diego. I'm in La Mesa. A lot more things piled up on the sidewalk in different places. A lot more tents visible in new areas, new spots that I didn't notice even as of like 6 months or a year ago. Now, here's something very important. Look how bad this system is, where here's the numbers right here. Only $5 billion of the $46 billion that was allocated for relief funds that was authorized by Congress has been distributed. Only $5 billion out of $46 billion. So where is the money going, right? We saw something similar happen with unemployment benefits. We saw a lot of looting, a lot of people stealing the benefits, and a lot of people that were supposed to have gotten the benefits, a lot of them ended up not getting the benefits that they should have gotten. The benefits aren't the solution to this, but it's even worse when you're unemployed and then you still can't get the benefits that you should have gotten. But even the benefits, even if all the money and all the benefits were handed out perfectly and everyone got the benefit or the help they were supposed to get, that's still not going to fix the issue. The issue here is inflation. We have an engineered economy. We have an engineered financial system. And the engineers, the one driving this, the money printers, as we like to call them here, are the ones keeping prices inflated through various different mechanisms, different activities. The biggest one is the endless money printing and allowing the banks to loan out endless amounts of money, allowing corporations and institutions to buy up real estate, allowing banks to loan out endless amounts of digital money. Remember, banks and actual money entirely is only 10% physical. We're talking about coins and paper bills. It's only 10% of all the quote unquote money that's out there. So when they tell you that Social Security is broke, it's not just Social Security. If you look at real money, the banks are broke too. There's not enough real money to pay off all the debt that's out there. It's a lot of it's just digital. It's mostly just digital numbers on a screen is the debt. All right, so what's the end game here? You tell me. A lot of people say this is just bad luck and it's just the way the ball bounces. Other people say that this entire situation right now is engineered. It was designed to extract wealth from most people and help just the people at the top. But it is interesting that every time something seems to go wrong, it always benefits the people at the top, and the middle class, the working class, seems to get buried under more debt and more hard times. In this case, we're likely looking at a big surge in people here, going to be losing the roof over their head. And we'll have to see what happens in the housing market. Maybe a lot of landlords are going to rush to sell because they're afraid of what could happen once they finally get that tenant out of the home. Maybe they want to just get rid of their property, and we'll have to see how this affects the housing market, if it has an effect on the housing market. My guess is the way the current monetary system is being ran, you're just going to have financial institutions come in and big investment firms come in and buy up any new homes that get put, or any existing homes that get put up for sale. I don't really see much changing, right? Not many new laws are being implemented. Remember, back in 2008, banks pulled back on the lending, and people were concerned that the banks wouldn't even survive. That was a concern back then. So, of course, that caused prices to crash. Home prices plummeted because the lending, basically, it froze up, and people were still getting loans, but not to the degree that they were previously. So anytime you see a big pullback in lending, or new bank regulations or restrictions, or panic and worry that the banks may not survive, then you will see deflation. But there's none of that in the cards right now. And in fact, there's this promise of never-ending support for the banks. And that's not me saying that. That's the Fed. The Fed has come out and said that, and their words are whatever it takes. In other words, promising endless backing for the banks. So we don't see any deflationary collapse in the cards, unless something else wild and crazy flies out of left field, and many people are preparing for that. Otherwise, it's going to be rising prices. But let me know what you think about this homeless situation. These articles today documenting all the surge in homelessness, and the homeless shelters are preparing for all these new homeless people. Pretty sad times, folks. The United States, the greatest country in the world, could be the country with the most homeless people. Will people still be out there saying we're the greatest country in the world when 25% of the people are homeless? Who knows? But when you look at the numbers out of Washington, they're estimating there about 25% of the people not going to be able to pay their rent. So not looking good for a lot of people. Hope you're doing well. Hope you've been preparing for this like I have. And we'll continue to keep an eye on it for you. Thanks for being here. Stay well, stay safe, stay positive, keep stacking. Bye for now, everybody. Peace.